Hello, leaders. Hey, this is Paul Grau, and welcome to Run to Your Leadership Challenges, the daily show that equips leaders and entrepreneurs to achieve their greatest potential. This show is sponsored by Current Leadership Coaching, and they help entrepreneurs excel as leaders so they can create super teams. Find out more about them at currentleadershipcoaching.com. Hey, I'm going to jump right back into where I left off yesterday because I'm going to be talking about the S and the C personalities on your virtual team and what you can do to create an environment that motivates them. Before we get started, I just want to recap that yesterday we talked about the first two styles from the DISC assessment, the D and the I personality styles, and exactly what you can do to create a comfortable environment and set them up for success while motivating them to work virtually. Today, it's time to discuss the S and the C personalities. Now, the S style is really laid back. They're quiet. They're great listeners, and they're observers. And they're just a genuine great friend to just about everyone they meet. They are the most loyal team members and are huge encouragers and supporters for the entire team. They go out of their way to do just about anything for anyone, and they will literally give the shirts off their backs. Your S personality team members love stable and steady environments and routine schedules. You can only imagine that with all the changes and unknowns that have been going on, they're just a bit unsettled. However, they will do whatever it takes to help the team succeed, and being a part of a virtual team is absolutely no different. The best thing that you can do to create a comfortable environment for S personalities is to ensure they know what the schedule is as far in advance as possible, which I know is difficult in our ever-changing world today. But if you can only give them a day or a week, man, that's good enough for now. Another thing that S personalities like doing is the behind-the-scenes work. They don't like being out in the spotlight, so pour it on them and give them the praise that they earn. Calling your S-style team members for quality one-on-one talk and just giving them a virtual pat on the back will also put them at ease and keep them motivated. Remember, they are quiet, so they may not do a whole lot of talking when you're on any calls, but believe me, they are aware of everything that's going on. So it's good to get their thoughts in just about every meeting that you have. If they see or hear anything that's not quite right, man, they're going to let you know. One thing that you should never do to a C personality team member is continuously give them pressing deadlines. Now, I know with the virtual teams, it's easy to say, hey, I need this by such and such date, but just use caution when you're dealing with your S personalities because they're just not going to perform well and they will burn out quickly if it's a continuous pressing deadline. Now, your D's and I personalities, man, they can crank out things rather quickly and are very flexible. So pour on the tight deadlines for them because they'll excel in that environment. Okay, let's move on to the final DISC personality style, and that's the C personality. If you have a C team member on your virtual team, well, they are simply in heaven working alone. They thrive in their isolated zone, and if you went from an in-person work environment to a virtual team environment over the past 5 or 6 months, well, your C personality is the one that is revived, alive, and producing like never before. To continually create a comfortable environment for C personality styles, just give them the task and let them do it. And don't bother them, unless, of course, they ask you something. If you have continuous mandatory team building virtual events, man, your C's will be quiet and they're not going to enjoy it. However, it's important to have those team building events. So one way to fix their involvement is to get them involved in the planning of the virtual events every now and then. If they plan the virtual team building event, not only will it be perfectly planned out because the C's are your perfectionists, but it's also going to give them an opportunity to see all the work that goes into planning a virtual team building event. And they're going to most likely make some kind of continuity checklist to ensure that everyone else has something to follow for all future virtual team building events. One thing that you never want to do to your C personality team members is to openly criticize them on a call in front of other team members. C's take a lot of pride in their work, and rightfully so. But if you notice an error and call them out on it in front of others or criticize them in front of others, man, it's going to rip the motivation right out of them. If you ever find an error on one of your team members' reports or work, just let them know about it in a corrective manner, but do it alone. They will be harder on themselves than you're ever going to be. So that's it. Over the last few days, we talked about how to create an environment for your virtual team and keep all of your team members comfortable and motivated. If this all seems a bit overwhelming, man, I'd encourage you to just go back through the last few episodes on iTunes or Spotify, iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, Stitcher, or just about wherever you can download podcasts. And if you still have questions, please reach out to me via email at paul@clcteam.com. And I'd be happy to set up a free 15-minute call with you. That email again is Paul, that's Paul, @clcteam.com. Hey, I hope you have a great rest of your day. And until tomorrow, run to your challenges.